Right now on News 3, a former congressional candidate is arrested, accused of trying to buy radioactive material in order to kill someone. Plus, a pair of local firefighters pitching in on the search for a missing Barron County teenager.
So let's put it all together, right? Let's put it all together. Let's get along. Great country, get along.
And President Trump makes a campaign stop in northern Wisconsin. His message straight ahead.
This is News 3 at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A man in the town of Madison is in jail tonight for attempting to buy radioactive material online. The FBI says this man, Jeremy Ryan, was intending to use that material to kill someone. Ryan twice ran for Congress in Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District. Our Amy Reed is at the scene now where the arrest happened. Amy, what do we know?
My photographer and I were out here when the FBI first started searching, and now even 4 hours later, they're still back there looking. Now, the man the FBI arrested today, Jeremy Ryan, also known as Segway Boy, has a colored history in the state of Wisconsin. Helicopter video shows the FBI searching this house in the town of Madison. It's the home of suspect Jeremy Ryan, who the FBI believes tried to buy radioactive material online with intent to kill someone. The agency already arrested Ryan earlier in the day without incident. Neighbors tell me this is normally a safe and trusting neighborhood, and many of them know each other. Cheryl Cummings moved here in 1993, and she tries as much as she can to get to know who lives next door.
Life isn't like it used to be 20 years ago when I lived here. I mean, when I moved in, and things are different, and everybody should pay attention to your surroundings and get to know your neighbors.
But in this case, Ryan lived just far enough away for his neighbors to not know him. Not the case with many others in the state. Ryan ran for the U.S. House of Representatives twice, once this year and once in 2012, both times trying to replace U.S. Representative Paul Ryan. He is also known as Segway Jeremy, or Segway Boy, a very active protester during the Act 10 demonstrations at the Wisconsin Capitol in 2011. And in 2016, he was arrested for drug charges. As for today, the FBI said the public is not in danger, but the charges could result in a maximum sentence of life in prison. Cheryl said that's good the police and FBI got on this, but it still serves as a reminder.
Sad, but everybody just pay attention around you.
The FBI told me this is still an ongoing investigation, so there's no more information they could release to me right now. And as of right now, we still don't know who Jeremy Ryan might have been intending to target.
Amy Reed, live tonight at the town of Madison. Amy, thank you. Federal investigators are working to find out who's responsible for mailing crude pipe bombs to high-profile Democrats and critics of the president. A suspicious package was mailed to the CNN offices in Manhattan this morning. The Secret Service intercepted a bomb mailed to Hillary and Bill Clinton's home outside New York City, and another in Washington, D.C., addressed to former President Obama. Packages were also mailed to former Attorney General Eric Holder and California Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters. A similar device was also sent to liberal donor George Soros' home on Monday. The president beginning a rally in central Wisconsin tonight by condemning the pipe bomb attacks and calling for a more civil tone. Political reporter Jessica Arpaz's comments from Mosinee tonight and what it can mean for the election.
President Donald Trump striking a tone of unity tonight before launching into what he called contrasts between Republicans and Democrats.
Donald J. Trump.
The federal government is conducting an aggressive investigation, and we will find those responsible and we will bring them to justice, hopefully very quickly. More broadly, there's much we can do to bring our nation together. For example, those engaged in the political arena must stop treating political opponents as being morally defective. Have to do that.
President Donald Trump calling for a more civil tone in political discourse before he then turned to making a case for State Senator Leah Vukmir and Governor Scott Walker.
Scott fights every day for you, and now we need you to fight for him. And all you have to do is go out and vote.
Vukmir and Walker rallying the crowd before Trump arrived also drew differences between their opponents in hope of increasing support ahead of the November election.
Tony's taxes will cost us jobs.
If she isn't willing to do her job, Step aside, I am.
Voters at the rally told us they didn't believe polls and concerns about a blue wave in the state, especially after seeing the rally crowd.
I'm going to vote straight Republican. I would vote for Jack the Ripper if he were a Republican.
Do you see how nice I'm behaving tonight? This is like, have you ever seen this? We're all behaving very well. And hopefully we can keep it that way, right?
The president is the biggest name Republicans have to campaign for them. It's unclear whether he'll be back before Election Day on November 6th. In Mosinee, Jessica Arp, WISC News 3.
And today's visit was the second of 3 high-profile visits this week in Wisconsin. Senator Bernie Sanders was in Milwaukee on Monday. Former President Obama will also be there on Friday. And next Tuesday, former Vice President Joe Biden will visit the UW-Madison campus. Democrats are weighing in on tonight's rally in Mosinee. Candidate for Governor Tony Evers says the choice is clear for Wisconsin. Quote, 4 more years of the dark and divisive politics of Governor Walker and President Trump, or a new chapter for our state. Senator Tammy Baldwin also chiming in. She says she isn't worried that challenger Leah Vukmir is campaigning with the president. She says she is worried if Vukmir wins that she'll be the deciding vote to strip away coverage for those with pre-existing conditions. Let's turn it over to weather now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Pretty quiet out there tonight, Eric. Skies have been generally clear, but they're starting to cloud up a little bit. It's a mid and high level cloud deck that'll slowly thicken up with time, but the nearest showers are still back in northwestern Iowa and parts of far western Minnesota. Low temperatures this morning because of the clear skies and the light winds were pretty cold. Many locations dropping into the 20s here in Madison. We fell to 27 degrees for the overnight low temperature. High temperatures today were in the lower to middle 50s away from Lake Michigan. Temperatures stayed in the middle to upper 40s north of Milwaukee, right along the Lake Michigan shoreline. But current temperatures are in the 30s in most areas. Here in Madison, we're still at 40 degrees. And over the next 12 hours, expect temperatures to drop to just below freezing and then start to climb into the 40s by mid-morning. By tomorrow afternoon, look for high temperatures to top out at around 51 degrees, but skies will be mostly cloudy. That's your First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. Curbside sandbag collection is scheduled to start next week in the city of Madison. Thousands of those sandbags were used in August and September after all the flooding. Sandbags should be put on the terrace or the edge of the road, not directly in the street or the gutter. They should not be mixed in with leaves or other yard waste. Collection will start Monday and at the latest will end November 25th, weather permitting. An Iowa County District Attorney has pleaded guilty to drunk driving charges. Larry Nelson will be required to have an ignition interlock device for 1 year and pay more than $1,000 in fines after pleading guilty to first offense OWI today. He will also have his license revoked for 7 months. He was arrested last month in Mineral Point. Deputies are looking for help identifying this man. They say he is connected to a string of overnight burglaries in the town of Dunn. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says 8 properties were targeted in 3 neighborhoods between 11:30 p.m. last night and 9 this morning. Among the things that were stolen, an Apple MacBook, cash, credit cards, wallets, purses, and a garage door opener. They say there was no sign of forced entry in any of those cases. Investigators are now offering a cash reward for information about the missing Barron County girl Jamie Kloss. The FBI says $25,000 is available now to anyone with information that directly leads to her location.
The FBI wasn't a large part of the Barron County community prior to Jamie's disappearance, but we truly feel like we are now.
Jamie went missing October 15th. Her parents were found dead inside their home, shot to death. The Barron County Sheriff says there are 200 officers working 24 hours a day to help bring Jamie home. Thousands of people volunteered their time yesterday to help search for Jamie. 2 of those people work for the Middleton Fire Department. Our Jamie Perez spoke with one of them today. Jamie?
Eric, the battalion chief over at Middleton Fire was back at work today after spending more than 5 hours searching for Jamie amongst thousands of others. He said that he felt that he had a job to do, but says he would do it all over again.
Great concern.
Every minute does count.
Days of searching for Jamie Kloss led to this.
We're asking for about 2,000 volunteers to walk specific areas in or around the crime scene.
Strangers, friends, community members, all combing different areas to aid in the search.
Jamie's out there. We want to find her.
They say it takes a village.
We want to bring Jamie home.
This village is a village of volunteers. Amongst those thousands was Middleton Fire's battalion chief Brad Subra.
But as a father of a 13-year-old, it strikes home that it can happen to anybody at any time.
He made the trek, traveling over 200 miles.
Yeah, the distance didn't matter.
It didn't matter how long it took, didn't matter what they had him do.
That feeling goes through your mind that this could be indeed my family.
5 hours of searching. even though Brad says they didn't find much.
I had the feeling that we helped.
That feeling that led his footsteps to try to retrace where Jamie's might be. That feeling of fatherhood, of knowing this could have been his own. The feeling that this was someone's own.
They're going to see the news clips and say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of love. On a Tuesday morning in October, middle of the day, and 2,000 people are willing to come, drop what they're doing, and give that search. It's amazing to see the amount of cars that were coming down the road, turning into the staging area was awe-inspiring.
Until Jamie is found, and if more help is needed until then, Brad says he'd make that trek all over again.
Well, absolutely.
Brad also said some of the volunteers did find some things yesterday, but law enforcement told him that they weren't necessarily things that could lead to finding Jamie. At this point, they're just solely relying on more evidence in deeper investigations and searches.
And the search goes on. The hope remains. Jamie Perez in studio with us. Jamie, thank you. Still ahead at 10, another big night for the lottery. We'll have those winning Powerball numbers now. And a preview of this year's Freak Fest set to take over State Street Saturday night. That's still ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back. Freak Fest will take over downtown Madison Saturday night. Police say it is the biggest event they plan and prepare for every year.
There'll be literally hundreds of police officers from Madison, from Dane County, UW, some of our consortium partners, as well as a very significant private security footprint, approximately 150 private security officers, all of whom are working together, who have planned and met and worked out a number of different protocols in order to keep the event safe.
Significant road closures start at 5 p.m. That includes Johnson, Dayton, and Lake Streets where they intersect with State Street. Gorham will stay open until 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., you're going to have a ticket to get on State Street. Tickets are $15 at the gate, $10 in advance. Another big night for the lottery. Here are your winning numbers from tonight's $620 million Powerball jackpot. 3, 21, 45, 53, 56, Powerball 22. By the way, a Wisconsin winner would take home $242 million in a lump sum payment after taxes. Gary did not win. A winning ticket for last night's Mega Millions drawing was sold in Mount Horeb. $1 million purchased at the Quick Trip on Springdale. The $1 million prize, the second highest available in the Mega Millions game. The winner matches all 5 white numbers but misses the Mega Ball. It was one of just 35 $1 million winners nationwide. And the $1.6 billion jackpot, that winning ticket, sold in Simpsonville, South Carolina. That's outside Greenville. However, South Carolina is not a state where the winner needs to be publicly identified, so we may never know who won. So that person won't get as many requests as if they were living in Wisconsin.
If they don't show up for work and start driving around in fancy cars.
Gary's looking at the forecast. Kind of a beautiful, cool night, but really pretty. The moon was bright out there. Nice night.
The clouds eventually will take over, so I hope you enjoy the moon. It's about a full moon right now.
Yeah.
And temperatures are going to stay pretty similar over the next couple of days. The big difference is that we won't have sunshine like we had today on the time lapse from the WISC sky cam. You can see some cirrus clouds moving in at times, and a couple of cumulus clouds popped up during the afternoon. But by evening, you can start to see some clouds on the western horizon, mainly mid and high level clouds, but with time they'll thicken up a bit. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Very pretty out there this evening. Low temperature this morning, 10 degrees below normal at 27, but the high temperature at 53, just a couple degrees shy of where we should be. We're at 40 degrees now. Winds are out of the south at 3 miles per hour. The dew point temperature a little bit higher at 34 degrees, so I'm thinking temperatures will probably bottom out in the lower 30s. And if you take a look at the snow depth across the country, really the only snow on the ground right now is in the mountains out west. But if you notice, much of northeastern Canada has some snow cover. So when the upper level wind pattern is from northwest to southeast, that brings colder air into New England. But you can see if we get northwesterly winds, it still goes over a fair amount of ground which is not snow covered. So our temperatures have not really been able to get a lot colder than normal. They are cooler than normal. In fact, over the next week, temperatures will stay slightly below the average high temperature, which is in the mid-50s. By Halloween, temperatures should be back into the mid-50s. With the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, which takes us through the first week of November, calls for above normal temperatures east of Wisconsin, below normal temperatures to our south and west, and an active storm track that brings above normal precipitation, especially over the southeastern part of the country. About a 60% chance of that there. Here in Wisconsin, about a 40 to 45% chance of above normal precipitation. Current temperatures have dropped into the 30s through much of the state. Madison's still hanging on at 40, Milwaukee at 42, but everybody else is below the 40-degree mark. Upper level winds right now still from the west. But these showers and thunderstorms to our south, some of that moisture from what was once Hurricane Willa, now pushing into Texas and parts of Louisiana and Arkansas, that will stay to our south. Notice the jet stream pattern just kind of taking it through southern Illinois. And these showers out west are running into dry easterly winds near the surface. High pressure is located to our east, so those easterly winds are just kind of undercutting the moisture that's coming in from the west. So these clouds are still mid and high level clouds. The thicker clouds that are producing precipitation still a distance off to the west. It'll be a while before they get here. High temperatures today generally in the 50s, some 40s and 30s to our north and east. Current temperatures are in the 30s here, but 40s and 50s to the west, where the air has a little more moisture and there's a little more cloud cover. And you can see those clouds moving in for tomorrow, but the rain chances pretty much staying out to the west at least until Friday. Our forecast overnight calls for skies to become mostly cloudy. It'll be seasonably cold with a low of 33. Tomorrow's high 51 with mostly cloudy skies, but I think it'll stay dry during the day. Future track shows the thicker clouds arriving by tomorrow morning. Low temperatures in the lower 30s. You can see dry weather expected for tomorrow with highs in the lower 50s. Tomorrow night, a slight chance for a shower in a couple of spots. Low temperatures in the upper 30s. On Friday, the latest computer models popping up a few more showers late in the day. High temperatures will be in the lower 50s. 7 to 10 day forecast calls for a better chance of showers from Saturday night into Sunday. Those could even be mixed with a few flakes of snow. A cool start to next week. A warm up as we head toward Halloween Wednesday with some showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms. and then temperatures turn cool again toward the end of next week. Those rain showers could mix with a few flakes of snow as we head into November.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Just ahead in sports, the Packers getting ready to slow down the best team in the NFC. We'll hear from their defense just ahead.
The Bucks going eco-friendly in their new home. Today it was announced at the Fiserv Forum's the world's first bird-friendly arena. Now the window design is supposed to deter birds from more than 1 billion die each year in the U.S. A billion. Bucks doing their part to help out the environment and the birds, hosting the Sixers tonight. Have a little defense in the first half. Giannis, the steal, the windmill dunk. He has 22 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, and counting. Chris Middleton, catch and shoot artist for 3. He has 20. Bucks lead right now 81-69 in the second half. Grant Hill, one of the owners of the Atlanta Hawks, watching Madison Memorial State champ Wesley Matthews do some work. He's been in the league 10 years now. They're going undrafted from Marquette. The left-handed step through. Had a season high today on the block. Fading, shooting, no rim. Had a season high 23 points. But not enough as the Mavericks fall 111-104 in Atlanta. Game 2 of the World Series just concluded. The Red Sox put up a 3 spot in the 5th inning. J.D. Martinez, 2 RBIs in the game, and the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead in the best of 7. There is an off day tomorrow before a trio of games in Los Angeles. Odds makers don't have much faith in the Packers' chances in L.A. this weekend. Green Bay's never been a 9.5-point underdog when Aaron Rodgers has started. They will be this week. Now, the betting line always subject to change. The Rams appear to be the goods. 7-0, the only undefeated team in the league. The Packers still searching for a road win and some consistency coming off a bye week.
They're 7-0, and I mean, they're playing really well. And like I said, from a fan's perspective, they're fun to watch. They got, the offensive and defensive MVP on their side of on their team. So I mean, on paper, yeah, I mean, it looks like a mismatch. But the great thing is we get to go out there and play the game, and we feel good about our opportunity.
The Badger football teams won one game in Evanston since 1999. The Badgers and Wildcats have taught us to expect the unexpected. They split the last 4 meetings, and this is the time of year when teams want to play their best football. And doing that Saturday would be another step toward the Badgers locking down a Big Ten West title.
They're tough, and they're smart, they're talented, and you know that you've got to earn everything. I think that's what leads to it, and it's, in the past, it's been good football teams, too. You can almost expect anything in a game like this, and they're fun to play in.
Every team in this conference can compete. If you don't play your best football towards the end here, you're not going to do what you want to do. So definitely got to keep improving and keep playing, start playing complete games.
Wisconsin Northwestern on the pitch, down 1-0. The Badgers, Alex Alfaro to Andrew Akindele. No. Isaac Schlenker, yes. We are tied at 1 apiece. We head to double overtime. Zach Klansnick going the distance to Noah Mielik. Mielik just wants it more. A wonderful strike from the 18. That's your game winner, golden goal. Badgers win 2-1. Regular season finale Sunday at home versus Ohio State. The show finale is coming up after this break.
The first year for the Badgers, and they take this one 2-1.
Gary's back. One final check of the forecast.
Well, it's kind of cool out there right now. Temperatures already in the 30s in most areas. Look for high temperatures in the lower 50s the next few days. Cloudy skies for tomorrow and Friday. Slight chance of a shower on Friday. Better chances Saturday night into Sunday when they could make some flakes of snow north of Madison. Then a little warm up for the middle of next week with some thunderstorms on Halloween. Cooler after that.
Gary, thank you. And thank you for joining us for News 3 at 10. Have a great night.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.